It's the 26th today. It's 26 days of training non-stop, training every day. Today we ran about 6k, 6.2k's this morning, before I then hit sauna, did a 50-minute sauna session and went back home and had a cold shower. Sort of my recovery for the week. Part of why I probably am filming this now is because on my main run I don't like filming when I'm going running. I've tried it a few times and I feel like it just distracts from what I'm trying to achieve overall, and that is a consistent pace, keeping my heart rate at a consistent level between 160 and 170, and aiming for times and getting in a rhythm. And I feel like reminding myself to film or putting the camera on the ground and taking different shots or stuff like that, I think it gets in the way of my training and what I want to achieve during my training. So I filmed this, and this is about 8:30 in the evening. My main run this morning was about 10 o'clock, 10:30 in the morning. So I ran for 6k's. I originally wanted to do 8, but I only got through 6. A thunderstorm sort of hit, and I was coming back past my house. I was going to do another 2k lap and head in, but I just headed in as soon as it hit. And I was a little bit disappointed in that. I let myself down there. Like, what's a little rain, right? Like, I could have easily kept running, but I didn't. So this is me now at 8:30 making up the last 2k's that I was meant to hit earlier this morning, as a bit of, I don't know, a little bit of redemption for myself. I've eaten dinner, I've relaxed, I've had an afternoon nap, I've done like all those things, and yeah, it's about 8 o'clock, 8:30 at night, and so I've just set the treadmill at 10k's an hour and just did a slow 2k as sort of like a warm out, keep some blood sort of pumping through the legs, but mainly just to get that 2k's done. I know it's probably not going to do anything for me physically, because that's quite an easy run for me. 10k's an hour for, I don't know, whatever it was, 12 minutes to do that 2k's was fairly easy. I didn't really break too much of a sweat, but I think mentally it made all the difference. I hate giving up on myself. I hate letting myself down, and I find that if I can do something later on to then redeem myself, it doesn't take away from the fact that I didn't do it initially, but in my mind it helps a little bit, just to know that I can still get it done. It's like anything. If I go out and I aim to run 10k's and it's one of my middle of the day runs, it's hot, it's 30 to 40 degrees, it's 80% humidity, and I'm dying, and I'm literally feel like I'm going to pass out for the majority of the run, and I just get to a point where I just can't go any longer, and it's been about 8k's. I'm going to be disappointed that I stop, but if I can then go cool off, make sure I'm in the right space, rehydrate again, and then go out a few hours later and then finish off the last 2k's, I think that in a way I can still keep that promise to myself of, today I'm going to go and run 10k's. Well, today I couldn't run 10k's in a row, but what did I do? I couldn't do it. Mentally I wasn't strong enough, or physically I wasn't strong enough, I couldn't do it. I'm going to go back in the evening after I've looked after myself a little bit, and I'm going to bang out the last 2k's of it. So that's what I did here. I ran 6. I wanted to run 8. I didn't really set a goal of running 8. I just thought in my head just before I started, 8k seems like a good number. Didn't get there, but sort of stayed true to myself in that today I was going to run 8k's, and that was just 2k's at the end. It'll be interesting to see how I sort of wake up tomorrow, see if it makes me any sore or not. I did do that sauna session today. I'll throw in a clip of me in the sauna session at the end, and that was also fantastic. Again, I got it as a birthday present in a gift card, with a float tank and a sauna experience. And where I live now, when I first moved here, I looked around for saunas and cryotherapy chambers and float tanks, and I couldn't find any good ones. So I sort of stopped looking, and that was 2.5 years ago. Over a year ago, this place that I have now done the float tank and the sauna in opened up, and I was a little disappointed that I didn't keep looking every now and then. because this is my first time using that sauna, and I have to say I haven't used a sauna in almost 3 years, or 2.5 years, since I moved up here. I used a sauna after every gym session when I used to live on the Gold Coast. There was a sauna in the gym. I used to do my hour and a half workout, and then I'd sit in the sauna for at least 30 minutes at the end of each session, and then have a cool shower. And I found that was an excellent part of my recovery, and I missed that, and I was disappointed in not being able to find a good place where I could do it. And a big part of it was I like traditional sauna with the traditional heating element in it. I don't like infrared sauna for a couple reasons. I know that all the literature and all the studies that have been done, or the majority of studies that have been done through the health benefits of sauna, have been done in traditional type saunas with a heating element in the middle, producing heat, whereas an infrared sauna, it's sort of hitting you with infrared lights, and it's heating you up the longer you're in there through the light. So it's like it heats you up from the inside out, basically. It's a bit like a microwave kind of thing, and I never really liked the idea of that. Because they're relatively new, there was no sort of studies into the long-term side effects of infrared saunas and things like that, so I never used to do that. And in this package was you can do an hour in an infrared sauna in this package I got for my birthday, and I thought, oh well, I'll give it a go. I'll try it. I've only done an infrared sauna once. It won't hurt, and plus I'm not going to lose out on any money. It was a gift, so I'm going to do it. And I went there, and yes, it was infrared saunas, but they also had traditional heating elements in there, and that there was just this sort of weird infrared light at the top that does whatever it does, which you could actually turn off. So I just turned the light off and left the heating elements on, and I increased the temperature up to about 70 degrees. It's a 50-minute session, and it started out at 50 degrees. It was warming at 50, so it took about 15-20 minutes to get up to 70 degrees. So I did about 30 minutes at 70 degrees, which was hard. It was really hard. And I remember when I used to sauna every day after every session, 70 was my standard. I'd go 75 to 80 degrees. Like 80 degrees would be like my whew. That would be my heat. So yeah, it was a big struggle. I've probably got low to no tolerance over it anymore. It was really good sweat. It was really hard the last 10 minutes. And you'll sort of see I recorded this little clip that I'll show at the end in the last 10 minutes, and basically why I recorded it was almost to just distract myself from the actual sauna and just to get my mind off it. I'd been stretching and doing various kinds of loosening up movements for the last 15 minutes, and then when it sort of got to that sub 10 minute mark, I was really struggling, man. So I sort of filmed that video to get myself through 40-50 seconds of the last few minutes. But it's fantastic. The benefits of sauna are well known. You sort of get an immune response through exposing your body to extreme temperatures, hot and cold, and these immune responses help in the removal of broken down tissue from training. So when you train, obviously you make these micro tears in your muscle, and your tissue sort of breaks down slightly, and this happens in order for your body to then come back and repair it and make it stronger later, usually when you're asleep. So when you do a sauna, one, you get mass vasodilation, meaning your blood vessels dilate, allowing excess blood flow through to your muscles, and through your dermal layers of your skin and things like that. It also helps you sweat out a lot of toxins, and then you get this immuno response to then aid in your muscle recovery. Same thing with cold therapy and cryotherapy and ice baths, same sort of thing. The idea that the vasodilation, the heat, allows all the blood to flow through there quickly and remove everything quickly with all the immune cells in your blood. And then the idea of cold therapy is it vasoconstricts and it tightens your vessels, and you slowly push through and clean out all the metabolites and muscle breakdown from your training and stuff like that. Slightly different immune responses, I do believe, are very similar. I think in terms of percentages, I think cold, you probably get 2% extra recovery benefit through cold recovery other than hot recovery. And really, unless you're a top level, high level athlete, that 2% probably doesn't matter to you too much. I would also say that you get a huge lot of endorphin releases as well when your body is put in these situations where you're in extreme heat or extreme cold for not extended periods of time, but not prolonged periods of time either, sort of an acute phase of it. And you definitely feel a good feeling. You feel, I think cold you get it a lot more than hot, but you definitely get a sort of euphoric effect, and you just feel really good in your mind and in your body. So it'll be interesting to see how tomorrow I wake up and see how my aches and pains go after 2.5 years without sauna. But that's something I'm definitely going to be doing at least once a week. It's sort of annoying that when you're in a gym and you have a sauna, it's sort of covered in the membership, but when you have to go to another place for it, it's you have to pay a fee. But I think it's $1 a minute kind of thing. So $40 for 40 minutes, $30 for 30 minutes kind of thing. Which I'm more than willing to do. I'm like I probably have mentioned before, it's an investment in my body and my health, more than anything. So I'm happy to pay that. Yeah, and look, it was really good. This run at the end is no problem at all, and it's more like a little warm down at the end of the day run. But I was glad I could hit that 2K. But I just wanted to highlight the message in there that is, even if at some point in training life, whatever, you let yourself down, you can still find a way to make it up. And just because you quit at one point in time in that moment, you can still come back from that. Not completely. You'll never be able to go back in time and give yourself a kick up the butt to finish those last 2Ks or whatever it is. But just because you had to quit in that moment doesn't mean you have to quit on it throughout your day or throughout the month or throughout the year. You can always do more, and you can always come back to it as well. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to stop forever and that's it. You can come back from it, and you can still draw something out of it for yourself, to better yourself in the future. But that's it from me. I'll see you in another video. Cheers, and I'll add this little sauna message at the end for you. Alright? Have a good one.
So it's sauna day today for recovery. I'm sitting here. It's probably what it's about. It's almost about 70 degrees on there. It's taken probably about 15 minutes to get to the heat I wanted at, so between 65 and 70 degrees. And this is the last 10 minutes of over a 50-minute session. I just wanted to show the sort of recovery that I have been doing. Same facility I do the float tank in. So yeah, let's get this last 9 minutes done, and whew.